can we still install this? We have a Linux PC, we have a CD drive, and we have zero tolerance for failure. Let's roll. First things first, install Lutris. What's Lutris, you may ask? Think about it like the Steam Deck's SteamOS with all those underlying compatibility layers, but not for Steam. There are other graphical front ends as far as I know, but I decided to go with Lutris because it is offered in my Discover store and it's apparently really good. Let's figure it out. Install Lutris. It's kind of weird if you think about it. Ever since I switched to Linux, I prefer installing software from the store that comes with Linux. Back in the Windows days, I would just install any kind of random crap from the internet if it came from a somewhat reputable source. Okay, let's start up Lutris for the first time. Updating all those runtimes and game controllers and okay. Welcome to Lutris. Here we go. Let's see. Bloop. Oh, that's tiny. That is the only thing I could never figure out, how to make how to make that not so stupid. That's why I usually do everything over here. There we go. That's better. Oh look, it comes pre-installed with the Epic Game Store, the EA app, and Ubisoft content, and GOG, whatever that is. Oh, also has Wine, obviously, which is the underlying compatibility layer, Steam, Linux, Flatpak, all kinds of stuff. So, games. Click this button. Where's this button? To add a game. Oh, click the plus button. Jesus Christ, that is a tiny little symbol. What the heck? That is one thing. Under Linux, it's not necessarily the same layout for every app. That is a bit confusing. You sometimes have the options for, or the settings up in the left. Sometimes it's up in the right. Then you click that and then you want to say save the file, but then all of a sudden save is on the bottom. It's kind of weird sometimes, but one gets used to it. Okay, this hasn't been opened in a while. Let's see. In Extremo, the music for the game. New In Extremo DVD. Not that new anymore. Got the install CD. And the game CD. Let's see how that works. I would say we start with the installer. Probably install a Windows game from an executable. Enough already. All you guys want to see is this. Gothic Part 1, a 24-year-old game from a 32-bit operating system running on a modern Linux PC. After it was installed from the original 24-year-old CD. So yes, I got it to work. But let me tell you, this is not representative of modern day Linux gaming. This is kind of an edge case. Really old game, original CD in a really weird hardware that was never meant for gaming, with a graphic card that is not even particularly good at it or has drivers that support modern amenities. Anyhow, since I relied heavily on ChatGPT to get this thing working the first time around, I had to ask it to summarize our entire chat and turn it into a video script. Because I had no idea what I was doing, which is kind of the downside of relying on AI doing stuff you have no idea about. But one can still learn. Let me read this script. Credit ChatGPT. Gothic on Linux. How I finally got it working. Script. Hook. So, Gothic crashed a lot. Could not resize memory block. Error code 6. Today I'll show you the exact steps that finally made Gothic run smoothly on my Linux box with Lutris. No black magic, just the right setup. Point 1. What went wrong? My first attempts died in 2 ways. Either the Gothic starter play button did nothing, or I got the fatal resize memory block error. The log revealed this smoking gun. Some printout from the terminal. That happened because I had a dd-raw override forcing Wine to look for a native dd-raw.dll that didn't exist. Once I removed that override, Gothic actually started and then hit the infamous memory error. Time to reset and do it right. Step number 2. Create a clean prefix with Win32-bit plus known good patches. I created a fresh 32-bit Wine prefix and installed only what Gothic really needs. Player kit 1.08k and system pack 1.8. Here's exactly what I did. Once again, printout from the terminal. Important, I did not force any dd-raw overrides and I did not enable dxvk or vkd3d. Gothic is a direct draw 7 game. System pack and Wine handle it just fine. Step 3. A fresh Lutris entry. Next, I made a brand new Lutris entry that points to the clean from and only is okay. Info. Let me tell you something. I couldn't let this sit with me. Having ChatGPT do some stuff I had no idea about and installed it in some weird way, and then I had deleted one little file which I thought was unnecessary because it was just some kind of a link on my desktop, and the whole thing crashed again. The videos never got clean. They were always stuttery and really badly. So, what does one guy do? Does it all over again. That's correct. I uninstalled everything. I uninstalled Lutris. I reinstalled Lutris, even the most recent version from the Lutris project webpage, the deb package, but that didn't help either. Then I tried to install it from the Lutris repository installer. That didn't turn out well either. So I went back to the Lutris version delivered with Ubuntu Studio, or in the Ubuntu store. But it got hooked up on all these changes I made to the system before, and since I didn't know what it was, I didn't know how to get rid of it. Anyhow, I once asked ChatGPT again to get rid of all that nonsense, which it helped me to set up, cleaned it all out, got rid of cache entries and God knows what else. Then reinstalled Lutris freshly, once again, from the Discovery store. And then I finally got it to work. Not with Lutris though. It starts from Lutris, but I had to install it in Wine, in a 32-bit Wine environment. And here's something I ran into previously. I installed other Windows programs on my computer using bottles. And there were certain dependencies needed for the underlying Wine, but I couldn't install them via the GUI from bottles. So I had to rely on the terminal and Wine anyways. That's exactly what I did in Gothic. I installed it via Wine in a fresh 32-bit prefix. Pulled in all the dependencies that it needed. Then I installed Lutris. Lutris pulled in all the stuff it needed. Then I linked Lutris to the Wine installation of Gothic, and voila, it works flawlessly. Ish. Videos work great, everything is fine. I cannot use GameScope due to Noble Numbat 2404 Ubuntu, and there is apparently a way to set it up, but I'm not that interested in it. And when I record with OBS via a software encoder while running Gothic, the game thinks it runs out of memory because it can only handle 2 GB of RAM, even though I have 32 GB of RAMs. There are ways around that, but I'm not interested in getting into that because I will probably never play Gothic 1 again, and if so, I just download the remastered version on Steam, which is way easier. Which gets me once again to the point, this is not representative of modern day gaming on Linux experiences. There are way easier ways of doing this. I just wanted to see if it could be done. And since it can be done, I might hit up some thrift stores and see what other interesting, well, unloved PC games are sitting on the shelves. Until then, thanks for watching. See you next time.